Here we go. Okay. This seems to be working now. Okay, so now the next step, first of all, this is a little bit too loud on my end. So let's go to music volume. Turn that, maybe sound volume 3, music volume 1. SDR, standard net. Yeah, that's what I thought, but I was just like, seems weird. I guess I can stream in HDR? Is that really a thing? I didn't even know that was possible. Wait, I know I'm messing up again. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now the next step is to dial in. God, Moonring is such, the renderer is so strange. Like it constantly has to flip. Scroll tutorials full screen on. Yeah, it constantly has to flip resolutions. You don't see this, but for me it's like invisible for a hot second, which I guess that's fine. So now we have to get Zach in. So let me see. Here we go. Here we go. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna call Zach. Let's see. Where's the? If only I knew how to call Zach Age. Here, start voice call. Hello. Not detecting any input from my mic. Oh God. Okay. 1 second. I gotta change some things. Sorry. We'll have this working in just a second. I promise. Input device. Output device. No, it's you. Here, this should work now.
Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah,
There we go. There we go. Yay. Hey, Zach.
Are you gonna screen share in Discord too?
I am gonna screen share in Discord. Let's see. I'm gonna go live with here. You should now see it, hopefully.
Yeah.
In Discord, because that way you will have no.
Great.
This works, right? Cool.
Yep.
How you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. It's actually funny. It's like I haven't talked to you offline in a while, and now we're streaming together. I guess
I'm very, very busy.
Yeah,
we're in crunch.
Yeah, I guess we've chatted a bit. I know that you're stressing out over something that's potentially being released in the near future. And
I'm not stressing out. I'm so happy. But
right.
But we are in crunch.
You are in crunch, right? But there's no official. You haven't announced anything yet, right?
Nope.
Okay. I'm doing okay. A little bit tired today because Thursday is my big teaching day. But other than that, I have very little to complain about these days. I'm teaching a lot. I have a giant class. I may have mentioned this to you. I have a class of 220 students that are making 10 game projects over the course of the entire academic year.
220 students?
Yeah,
Jesus
Christ. 10 teams of, on average, 22 people. And it's
22 people?
Yeah, in a team. Yeah, no, they basically in this class learn how to manage a 22 person project across all disciplines. It's nuts. It's like I've never done that. I've never worked in a team of 22. So it's like, okay.
I've never worked in 22.
Yeah, but they do it and they do it well, but you know, that most of the year is friction, right? Most of the year is like understanding communication.
Right. That's unbelievable.
And so the class is run by myself, I'm the director, and 10 faculty. So it's 11 faculty and about like another 8 teaching assistants, right? And then a bunch of external schools like Otis and Fullerton, the art schools are involved in it. A bunch of other like external partners, Activision, Microsoft, they come in regularly and check in on the progress. Every now and then Insomniac drops by for a surprise visit. Rockstar has like 8 people who are looking into the games all the time. It's a gigantic, it's like the biggest educational project I've ever done.
This is like a new class?
No, this is literally the class that also bred Genova Chen, and this is the class that Outer Wilds came from. Remember that prototype you played in 2013 for the IGF? That was that was an advanced games project game, AGP. That's the class.
Wow.
So
that is nuts. That wasn't a 22-person team though. That was like 8 people.
Maybe 8, yeah. So we've definitely had to scale up because of the number of students. But it turns out it actually scales pretty well. It just gets them into a different mindset with like a large team, and they focus more.
How do you even know? Like, do you get out of school and get like a $6 million like pitch from like how do you, 22 people? How do you even
So the way that
like
works,
afford 22?
so the way it works is we in the spring of the year before they take the class, they do go through a two-stage greenlight process. So this past spring we had 60 students send a two-page pitch. Of those, we selected 30 for 5-minute in-person pitches, and then of those 30, we picked 10, and those are now the 10 game directors, the creative directors.
Oh
And
my
then they hire,
God.
from the students, then they pitch to all the students in a crew event where the students then in like a Google form say, I'm most interested in this game and I'm most interested in this position, right? So then they have an engineering team, an art team, a design team, a production team.
Do they do interviews?
Yeah, some of them do. Some of them just say like,
Wow.
I mean, they have to. In the end of the day, I give them 3 weeks to figure out how to hire people. And if we still have floating enrolled students who aren't on teams after 3 weeks, I just put them on a team.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, and it worked. Believe it or not, the first 5 weeks are a wild ride, and then after that, it kind of settles in. And the teams are, they vary in skill and ability to navigate this, and also in like just straight up HR issues, basically, right? That where the faculty has to step in and give them some guidance. But and the games, they move at a slower clip in terms of their progress than you would see in like a two-person prototyping class, right? Because they don't have any in the two-person prototyping class, they don't have a ton of communication friction. In a 22-person team, most of the time is spent in meetings, right? So, which is again, I think from a learning goals perspective, that's exactly what the class is supposed to teach. And if they actually get a good portfolio piece out of it, which we do want them to do, most of them pull it off in the end. They can still put that on a website. And one of the students from so there's a game on Steam that you can check out, Zach. It's called Try Again. It's a free download. And it was one of those projects from Adam Marina, who was my MFA student. And he now works at Rockstar and is working on GTA 6. He got hired by Rockstar as a designer out of college.
Wow. Well, I mean, their design quality is very poor, so I mean,
There we go. The hot takes gauge. I thought you were all about the positivity these days. I'm like, I find it entertaining when you say something like that.
well, that's because you only encounter me on a podcast.
This is true. Oh yeah, we're getting like the chat's like LMAO. But yeah, you should check out Try Again. It's a basically like a Play Dead like. It's like a Limbo or an Inside like, but a little bit more action. And it's only 10-15 minutes. And it got like 700 overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. So every now and then, it's a good calling card, right? They also had, what's the guy? I forget the name. Not Nate Fillion. Whoever the guy is who voices everyone in video games ever. I'll always forget the name.
Yeah. I know.
They got that person because Adam's mom
Nolan North.
Nolan North. Yeah, they got Nolan North to voice the lead character, right? And it's fun.
Oh,
It's
cool.
it's entertaining writing about a character in a video game who is aware of the fact that they are a character in a video game. So,
Yeah, cool.
yeah, check it out. It's pretty, it's keep in mind it's a student game and it's not Outer Wilds, right? Because Outer Wilds actually it's not trying to do something super revolutionary on the mechanics side, but the story is pretty funny. Anyway, with that big preamble, how about you tell me what I'm supposed to do in this game? Because I was telling people I played this. Obviously, looking at the title screen, looks like this should be my jam, right? Like this is super cool. The graphics are amazing. I'm gonna actually say delete progress and say new game. Would you like to call yourself? I don't know, Gage. There we go.
Oh boy.
Because here's my problem with this game. I had no sense of urgency.
There is no sense of urgency. That's here's what's great about this game.
Okay.
This game is like a vast, gigantic, open system
Okay.
that feels super huge and has a lot to explore and a lot to learn and guess about. but the actual amount of stuff that is in the system is actually very, very condensed and small and elegant.
Okay.
And so every time you start to discover sort of a direction that you're going, it's like, oh, all right, I just do this. And so the beginning can be a little rough. So
Okay.
the early part is pretty simple. Did you talk to the person in the next room?
I did.
So this is just like a little tutorial
So I press
conversation.
enter, right? Oh yeah. So my notion of this was, you look at the word cloud basically, right, and then you type that in.
So you
And
can also, it's not sometimes some like here you could type dream, but also you could keep going.
right.
Like it's a longer conversation and then you can type. So you
Well,
can, yeah.
I think what happens is they tell you a lot about the gods, right? Like I think this person tells you about, oh, here are the 4 different ways you can blah 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 and stuff. I also like, I found that secret. I never found the tiny key here. And then I left at some point, right? Because I was like, okay, let's get out of here. Okay, noise. This says Yarrow Farm. And so I didn't really... I walked around here for a little bit, but I quickly realized that there's actually not that much for me to do here. I guess there's a graveyard up here. And that graveyard also has a locked door, right? There's a... Need graveyard key. Okay. So I didn't read. I read some of those. I'm like, okay, cool. This is the family, yada, yada, yada. And then I quickly was like, okay, let's get the hell out of here. Like, let's see what's... Oh, I actually didn't go in here. I did not go in here. Use the Q key.
This is an important room.
Okay. Q key to toggle quiet mode. Sneak on. Okay. You'll do bonus damage to hit enemies sleeping or unaware of you. However, sneaking dims your lamp, reducing your sight range. Your actually takes 2 times longer. Okay. Oh, note added ranged combat. So R is ranged, right? So then I can do this thing. Critical hit. Sneak off. Done. Scraps of... Oh, there's a key there. I guess that would have been... You found a note. The graveyard key is in the locked chest behind the farms. False wall. Beyond the grave is a cave. I had cards. Yeah, this would have been pretty useful.
Yeah.
Find a stone. Find others who recognize the sign. I made the gods my beloved for. Yeah, so I literally just walked past this, right?
Yeah.
Signed your loving father, Karen. This would have been very helpful. You scroll the message in your notebook. You bring up your notes by pressing N. Did you see that the developers put up an apology on Steam saying they didn't expect the amount of attention this game would get and that it's nowhere close to done and has a ton of bugs supposedly?
Huh?
They posted this lengthy apology. I was like, what?
That's very
You're
funny.
apologizing for putting up a free game on Steam that looks like this? Okay, now I guess I fell into a trap or something. Now I'm vulnerable. Okay, but now...
So, do you want me to explain some of the stuff that's going on?
Sure.
Tutorialize?
Yep.
Okay, so vulnerable, if you look where it's flashing, that's your statuses.
Okay.
And so vulnerable is particularly bad. It means you no longer dodge any attacks.
Okay.
Everything hits you automatically, which is fine. And so vulnerable, the most interesting thing about this game from a roguelike perspective is that it is not actually turn-based. It is time-based, and turns take a set amount of time.
Okay.
And so everything takes a set amount of time, and that is actually like a really important key to the way that the combat works. So if you hit I, if you go look at your dagger, you'll see that like your dagger says attack time is 15. So that's the number of ticks that swinging your dagger takes.
Okay.
I think moving your character takes like 5 ticks.
Okay.
But it takes 10 if you're sneaking. And it also, so if you get out of here, you can see that like every step you take, your vulnerable is going to decrease because every status effect decreases over time.
Oh, okay.
And so if you swung a really large weapon, your vulnerable would decrease actually a lot more than it would decrease by stepping, because like your time is actually very relevant. And that also has a huge effect on enemies, because enemies have different abilities. Also, like if you shoot a bow, that takes more time than swinging a dagger. And
Got it.
so there's like a very weird. So anyway, go back in that room you found.
Wait, down here?
No, no, in
Oh,
the secret room.
Oh,
The
yeah.
secret room
Okay.
in your bedroom. That's where the next key is.
Right. Picked up something. Bring it to escape clicking. Okay, got it. You already explained that to me. All right. Okay.
And then go to the graveyard.
Got it. Interesting. So it's still like if I'm not moving, the world doesn't continue, right? But you're saying that a movement
Correct.
has variable time, or actions have variable time.
Actions have variable time.
Right.
So every body in the entire world is operating on a variable time scale, which is really wild.
Okay. Dungeon cover. You have found the entrance to a dungeon. If you die within a dungeon tile, rewind to the point before you entered. So this is the roguelike element?
This is the roguelike.
Got it. So I haven't been in a
Which
dungeon
is
yet.
also very cool.
Dungeon
This is like a very cool structure for a way to do a roguelike in an RPG that I've never seen.
Oh, so every time you go back into the dungeon, it's a new okay, that's... Yeah, I didn't...
Yeah,
I saw none of this in the hour-long playthrough that I did the other day, right?
Right, so there's no save scumming in this game.
Okay.
But there's a lot of checkpointing.
Got it.
But the checkpointing, if you die, you're always going back to a roguelike thing.
Yeah, I mean, that in principle already sounds a million times cooler, because I guess I was literally only on the overworld, right? I never... Yeah. Okay. Dungeons in the map. You enter a dungeon. Here the map will be vital, keeping track of your been. You can press M. Okay. Got it.
So you can start exploring. I'll just explain stuff. Grass is a really cool object in this game. This is like a key object. It's slow, which means your movement through it takes twice as long, which is because of the time thing. Yeah. And it blocks your progress. So it's like a visibility blocker that like takes more time to move through, but is otherwise just a normal thing.
Got it.
So you can keep moving. You're actually fairly invulnerable in this game for the most part, because of the way poise works. So directly to the right of your hit points, you see the shield that says 200, 200. That is your poise. Okay. And poise takes all the damage that you would normally take, and it recharges over time if there is not an enemy on an adjacent cell to you. So you can just walk up to this guy. So you have 8 rocks left, by the way. You're throwing rocks. And they're listed sort of down one and to the right from the 200, 200. You can see your ranged weapon.
Got it.
So this guy, you can just hit him, and he's hitting you back, but he's hitting your poise.
Got it.
So you can just keep punching. And now, as you continue to walk, after you take another step, your poise will start regenerating. Oh, so it's like got a number of sort of turn time. It's not actual turns, and now it's going to start regenerating.
That's interesting.
So... yeah, so one of the things that this game does that's very cool. So just keep exploring and fighting. You're probably not going to die, and I'll just talk about stuff. So one of the things that this game does that's really interesting is it really eases you into the roguelike by kind of having this poise system that allows you to essentially just smash your way through the entire game without worrying about anything at any point until it starts to get hard enough that you actually do have to worry about shit. But at that point, you can use spacebar to wait if you want also. But at the point where it's hard enough that you have to be worried, so that it's like you have enough familiarity with the system that there is actually stuff you can do. So that was kind of interesting. If you notice, that guy sent a projectile at you.
I did see
that. Projectiles move in real time. So the speed that you move, the actions you take, make a really big difference. I think waiting maybe only waits like a tick or two, so you might actually even be better just moving. Like go back up to that fire and move a bunch. So you'd like dodge that projectile. Like next time he shoots a projectile, don't move for a second so you can see.
Oh, I see.
So you can.
Yeah. I see the projectile is to the bottom left of me right now. Right.
Right. So if you move up, it just hit the wall basically, and you didn't even see the animation because in the time that you took to move, it hit the wall.
Right.
So there's all these sort of funny effects going on here that are not even like visible, that the longer you spend playing the game, the more start to make sense. Like you're stunning that, like rocks have a stun modifier if you hit with them potentially, that like we're not even noticing because it's just all happening in real time.
Got it.
But yeah, so you can just basically what you want to be doing here is effectively like auto explore into the grass, because the grass is blocking your line of sight. You just want to clear out this dungeon as fast as possible.
Clank.
Get everything in every crate. If you pull up the map, you'll start to see the difference between understanding grass and walls.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll just keep on going here. Is that the currency? Guineas or whatever it's called?
Yeah, guineas.
Guineas?
Yeah. Yeah, if you can see the wall behind it, you don't have to worry about it. That door is probably locked, so you probably want to hit that thing underneath it.
Oh, that.
Yeah, the pressure plate, just up and lock it.
Got it.
So that you can use it.
So I guess I should be exploring like a level before I get the hell out of here.
Yeah, there's stuff that you want to find here.
Okay.
There's no experience in the game, but there are levels.
Okay.
So what you're getting from fighting enemies is usually things that give you money, but there are pretty substantial items and things.
Got it. Does it
Like,
make
that's
sense
a
for me
big
to
set.
recover poise first before I start adventuring, or does it really not matter yet?
If your poise is broken, you definitely do, and the further you get, the more you will want to. But so hit points only refill by sleeping or using a potion or something like that. So you kind of don't want to take hit point damage, but this is the tutorial dungeon, so there's really only one part where you should be really worried about your health, and I'll tell you before that happens.
Got it.
So spider webs you don't want to walk into because they make you vulnerable. They give you the vulnerable status.
Got it. Yeah, I kind of guessed that. I was like, I'm not gonna walk. I'm not even gonna try. Played too much Spelunky to know that that's not a great thing.
You.
Oh, New York, I miss you. Wait, are you even in New York or are you upstate? I don't even know. Ooh, what do you want to do with the
I'm in New York. Okay, so I've never broken one of these pots before, but generally you want to refill your lamp, although it doesn't particularly matter right now. So you have a lamp that prevents a status effect called madness, which is kind of like berserk.
Got it.
But madness only shows up if there's like this fog that is very prevalent on the map and becomes more prevalent the further you go in the game, but is not here. So the lamp is not actually about light. It's about preventing this madness status effect.
Okay.
And so oil becomes very important later. But if you have any like empty vials, you can fill them up in dungeons when you encounter those oil like jars. So those jars kind of become very important later as just a general resource. But right now, they're not very important. Yeah, and you don't have to clear 100% of the grass, just enough to like see the walls, kind of.
Oh, okay.
You should definitely open the barrels.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think you can go through that door yet. I think it won't probably let you through.
This one, I think it.
Yeah, I think it's locked.
I'm in.
Oh, it's not. Okay, so this is the only enemy in here that can kill you.
Okay.
But it's very simple to deal with, so you can just try, and I'll
some ranged shenanigans. Kite. Oh, health.
Okay, so now your poise is broken. So what you want to do is run, basically. And the thing about this enemy is all of its attacks take a long time. So you'll always be able to run away from it. It's not a fast enemy.
Got it. So I can basically recover my poise entirely.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is your like poise tutorial basically. So now you want to go back in and mess it up.
Okay.
And I think like there you could gamble if you want, and like it's like almost dead, but why is Doug on the Hi John.
Why is Doug on the call?
And you just got him into a cobweb. You can definitely just go kill him. You're gonna kill him. There's none. Yeah. All right, and then take that key and go to where they were. There's like stuff that you should grab.
Okay. Well, let's explore here first. Two of those dudes. Ugh. Large potion of healing. Cool. Uh-oh. Get out of here.
The potions are really good, especially like positive potions. Like a large potion of healing is really good because once you drink it, you then get an empty bottle, which you can use to store oil.
What does rotting mean? Like, is the food? Do I have food that's rotting that I should eat? Like there's a rotting. There's a rotting status.
You're rotting.
I'm rotting. Oh, that's great.
I can't remember what it does. I think in your notes probably there's a note about what rotting does.
This stone looks like one of your father's stone. Perhaps Celera will know something about. Celera is the person that I meet in the beginning, right?
Yep.
So this now means get out of here. So I'm done, right?
Yeah. And now you're done.
Okay. So now I have to get. There's no way to just like, you're done with the dungeon, exit. It's like, no, you have to go to the exit.
Correct. Right. There are items and stuff sort of later that will sort of
find the correct pressure plate. Huh.
Yeah, so that looks like maybe off the entrance to the dungeon, maybe there was something, or there's a secret entrance wall somewhere here. But I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay,
there's not anything good in here that's like meaningful.
Okay. Oh. What the hell?
And there you go. Whoa. You might want to back up. Yeah.
Oh, those things.
Oh. Wow.
Those are not slow.
I think your poise does not come back if you're vulnerable. Also, is what it looks like.
Okay. Is that the back door? I guess maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you found your.
There's the exit. Oh, this is the other. Got it. That's how I. Okay, I found the other way. Fine. Let's get out of here. Oh wait, here's another. I opened that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think I had to come through here. Yep. Yeah. Chill out. Oh, that fire's still burning. Here we go. Okay. That's way cooler. Okay, like, man, I really need to... Zach, did you make this? John's like, Zach, did you make this?
Dude, I fucking wish I made this. I'm really loving this game. Okay, so go talk to Celera. And also you should sleep in your bed.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna have a dream. Where'd you get that stone?
You're not.
Oh,
you're a dreamer.
Sorry. Oh, right. Your father must have left it.
If you dug through the conversation, you would find that out.
I wonder what that could mean. Note added serpent's eye. So now I can go to notes. Father stone engraving mentioned the serpent's eye.
So there is a lot more conversation with this person that you should probably have. Although, I don't know if you have to, but there's just like more. I think there's probably like 15 or 20 terms with that person.
Yeah, I definitely did that on my first play, right?
Yeah.
Call something about the serpent's eye, so no response.
You always start with the first. So S, and then you can hit tab, yeah.
Perhaps the priests of the moon upon Thos. I feel like, yeah, capital is our best customer. Wait for those so close. Trader fees close. Sites over there going to the southwest. I think that's where I went, right? That's where all the, yeah. Now I'm about to moon upon Thos. Use M to check your map when you are ready.
The most common thing that results from conversations is people marking stuff on your map. And so that's like one of the very important reasons to have conversations. Yeah, I don't know why they give you that little thing, because it doesn't do anything. You got to go walk there.
Yeah.
So now you can leave. You've got everything you need from here. There are books on the bookshelves if you want, but basically you can.
So I'm still glowing because my lamp is good. That's the madness protection thing, right?
Yeah, you have 37% oil left in your lamp.
Oh, okay. Do I ever? So my hunger or my fill level is 94.48%. At some point, I just have to eat food, I guess.
I have not really figured out what the downside of food is. It seems like you automatically eat food every time you eat. I haven't hit a point in the game where I'm like running out of food. All my food is rotted and filling my inventory. I'm like carrying around a bunch of rotted food because I also can't figure out how to drop anything.
I mean, maybe it doesn't do anything yet, right? Again, like this. Yeah, Jim said
you can eat. It just isn't. Jim
says
I've never run out of.
Technically, hunger. They called it a thankpology instead of an apology. Yeah, I guess they weren't expecting people to be as attentive to this.
So one cool thing about this game is that everything sort of works on the same system. So now you're on the overworld, and so time moves 10 times faster, but you're also moving 10 squares at a time. It's like a... So here, you can escape by running off the edge, or if you finish the fight, it'll tell you when you've sort of done everything meaningful on this map. Or area clear. That doesn't mean that there's not like little animals that you can kill, but basically at this point you can hit return and exit immediately, having to walk off the edge. Yeah. These guys might be pretty strong. Yeah. But you could probably kite them into a win if you wanted. Like, you just get your poise back. Everybody's pretty, like... Early on, everybody does the sort of action movie thing where they all kind of, like, wait for you to get back into the fight. Right. Which sort of stops happening later, but it's, like, really elegant. It's just, like, a really... Like, have this way to kind of make the early fights feel just like action gamey fights. And then, so hit return.
What, how you said it doesn't have XP, but it has levels. But the leveling so there's no value to me, like just grinding characters to get to level up, or is there something?
No, but there is later reasons to grind characters. So like sometimes you're looking for it. So that is the madness fog, that like sort of gray.
I have had madness when I played because I didn't want. Yeah. I didn't have a lamp, right? I did not have a lamp, obviously, because I didn't go into the dungeon.
Right. Well, you have one, and actually you start with oil for it, but you would have to opt to use that oil and put it in the lamp, which seems very scary at first. Like if you hit I to go to your inventory, and scroll down to Amber Lane lamp oil.
Oh. Okay.
So you'll use it up, but what you will get is an empty jar, which you can then fill up at those things in the dungeon. So it's actually, you're given a lot of oil. One of the weird things about this game is you just like don't get a ton of... Everything you do really kind of matters because there's no save scumming at all, right. But also it's unclear. So like right now you have 2 unknown devices and a lifestone. The lifestone will refill all of your health, but it only has 5 uses, and as far as I know, there's no way to recharge it.
Okay.
Things that identify stuff are very expensive and a little rare, so when you find one, they're called Rosetta. Yeah. You should use it on the unknown device that does not have charges, because that's probably like a necklace or something that like isn't equipable. Whereas the stuff with charges is like you only have 3 charges, and they're kind of all useful in a variety of strange ways that like you never... I don't know. It's like hard to get a sense of when you're supposed to use up these things that sort of permanently run out.
Got it.
But going to Moon upon, right? Then there's also things you can discover on the overworld.
Yeah,
So
that
somewhere here,
somewhere
there's an
here
herb.
there's an herb. Yeah, like I remember. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and then you can just leave. Yep. And there are classes that use herbs. There's not really classes, I guess, like anyone, you can do any of the things at any time, but there's like a growth direction
Right.
that uses herbs to make
So now it just
potions.
said refill lamp. So how did you say I do that? I just
I don't think you should do it, but
okay,
you should
okay,
do it if you get in a situation where you're worried about
okay.
madness. You could hit return there and then go to use and
Wait, I'd have to go here. Pour into. Okay, got it.
yeah.
Okay. So this is how far I played, and then I saw this town, and I was like, okay, this is way too much. I was like, because I didn't know what I was doing, right? I had no idea why I was here because I missed a whole plot point,
Yeah.
right?
So let me loop you around just a couple things to get you
Okay.
because I only have like 20 more minutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I want to
same here.
get you enough of the system that you'll be able to sort of explore. So one thing is go into the armory, the sword store right there, and talk to that person. And then go to buy just so that we can look at what's available. Okay, so don't buy anything yet.
Okay.
But just the thing to sort of recognize here is if you start scrolling down the items, it seems like there's a lot of stuff to buy. But actually, so like if you go up to the sickle, like go to the first sickle. Uh,
This one?
okay, so it says that you need 5 perception to use this item.
Mm-hmm.
You have no perception, no intellect, no strength, no endurance, no nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Every time you level up, which I'll tell you how to do later, you gain 5.
Okay.
So,
Five that you can distribute across.
no, it goes into whatever it is. So, like
Okay.
if you level your perception, you have 5 perception.
Got it.
So, there's one melee weapon that's 5 perception, and one ranged weapon that's 5 perception. If you scroll down to the Sai, um, you will see that is a perception that's 10. There's also a perception that is 20 or 15. So basically, this looks like a ton of weapons and systems and stuff, but actually, it really is just like 3 or 5 weapons for the entire arc of progression through one of these statistics. And you're going to be able to allocate to like all kinds of statistics as you
Right.
go through this game.
So there are some
So
things
it's
that
actually
yeah.
very simple.
Got it. But for now, I'm good,
Um,
right? I don't need anything here right now.
yeah, I wouldn't buy anything here. You could potentially buy some armor in the armor place, which isn't really stats. You probably do want to sell though, actually, if you go back. You can sell. So you can sell your chitin and your fur. If you hit left, it'll do all. And you can sell the fur. And then the ancient metal I sell, but you can technically use it to build robots. So I don't know. That's kind of if you want to build robots or not. And
Do I want to?
then that's
Whatever. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I think you're all right.
Okay.
The other thing that yeah, so there's a lot of stores and there's a lot of stuff here. I would buy a shield. Like a heater shield is really good, or a large shield is really good. They weigh you down, which means you move slower, but
Okay.
they give you a chance to block melee, which is very real. That's
Do
like
I
a
have to
very
equip it somewhere?
you
Probably,
do,
right?
yeah.
Uh,
So go up to the heater shield, and then hit return, and that'll equip it.
oh, I see.
There you go.
Got it. Okay. Does that increase? So that what does that change? Because like, does it increase? My poise is still 200.
Your poise is always going to be 200. If you look at the legs, it's 110% instead of 111%. So basically, you
That was
just every time you step, it takes a
right.
little bit more time. But
Shield block.
most
Oh, it's a
important,
block chance.
you have a 25% chance to block,
Got it. Got it. Got it.
which is a big deal.
Very D&D. Very it feels very D&D. Which I think is cool because I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 and I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Oh yeah. So let me get you to the one. There's like if you go north, you're gonna encounter the priest who you should talk to, and then I'll tell you the one other place you should go, and then you can sort of take it from there on your own.
Okay.
Hey doctor, that's enough. So go all the way north, go in there, and there's this like the people of Moon whatever who you're asking. Oh wait, maybe it's not. Fuck. Okay, never mind. So you want to go to the Street of the Gods, which I think should be kind of to the right.
Yeah, I think it's to the right because I remember being there.
Yeah. So there's there's like a worship area of the gods to the right. Keep going right, and then go down, and then go in here. Okay. So this is like the Street of the Gods. There are 6 gods.
Right.
Each god has to do with one statistic. So the gods, basically, you do tasks for the gods, and that lets you level up their statistic only.
Mm-hmm.
And each god has its own sort of pathway of what you're doing. And on top of that, each god, you can devote yourself to one of the gods, which makes their stats, their abilities cheaper. But you can only do it with one god, and it comes with some additional rules. So talk to this person a little bit, just so that you kind of get the story, and then I'll bring you to the next area, which is Barrow something, and then that'll be like the end of the god sort of tutorial.
Predecessor, okay. Shell and the ruined quarter. I have a minor thing that I actually really like. The sounds in this game are really, really satisfying. Like the little clicks when you like autocomplete a word and stuff like that. It's like very nice. Northwest of the city. Okay, so I guess I go there. Wait, note added.
So yeah, it's kind of to the left. It's like the left side of town. There's like a warehouse with a wandering nut. Up, I think maybe. I don't know. It's somewhere around here. Yeah, there we go. This is it.
Who am I?
Yeah.
Nevin is my guess.
Yeah.
I was in better days before I knew. Priest of Balance. Wait, what? Wait, what else? What else did you just say? Oh, new.
Balance.
New.
Oh yeah.
Much a person can hold. I wish I did not. Not all truths should see the light. World is wrong. They alter our minds. They. Can't speak of them. Not while their moons are in the sky. They will hear. Are there truly 5? Are you so sure? Roche is still alive. Doesn't barely know of him. Ask him of him there. Oh wait, alive. Deep in the amber is the stuff that makes me mad, right?
Yeah.
So amber does not move with the wind. Interesting. Interesting. There's hope. Farmer, a thief, and a hunter. Farmer from Yarrow, that's where I came from, I guess. Poor thing. Whoops.
Yeah, that is...
Thief. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I think you're good. Oh no, hunter. Right, sorry. Right. So it does like it hops up the text right next to you. That is like new things for you to ask about.
Yeah, I mean there's stuff coming up out of Nevin, right? Like these word clouds.
I think that's it. Okay, so
So now I got a lot more information, right?
I didn't know that he talked about Sleethen.
Base name is
That's
Sleethen lives in
something
the
I'm dealing with
forest.
in my game. Is Sleethen.
Roche should be long dead. Barrow Lynn, I guess that's somewhere else.
So that's where we're going now. So let
Okay.
me guide you there real quick, so that I can sort of show you how the god system works. So go all the way back to the bottom of the town and then go left.
Oh, here?
Left. Don't exit. Go left. And, go up here and in there. That door to your left. Yeah, and then go talk to that guy. Oh, never mind. I guess go all the way down and talk to that guy.
I think I spent all. I got.
Oh, fuck.
I used up all my money to get.
Okay, well, we can do something else. So go out of this town. Oh, you're really close, actually, on the money. But so, all right. So what I did, I actually did not go to Barrel Inn right away. I just went on the road and I started walking in a direction. Does G do anything if you hit G on the keyboard?
Nope. It
No.
says the god
Okay.
screen is not available at this time.
All right.
Wet status. Being wet is not dangerous. It makes it harder for you to catch fire. It's much easier to gain the rotting status will not wear off while you are wet. Okay.
Yes. Wet is actually very important. So the roads run in a million directions. And what you end up doing, or at least what I ended up doing, is just following the road to the end, and like you find some ruins, and you can explore the ruins, and there's like just a lot of exploring and whatnot. But the very important thing about the roads is every road ends in a god's town. I don't think berries are useful. It's like food, and I don't understand why food is useful, so I would not waste your time with berries.
Got it.
So every road will end eventually in a god's town, and the way that the gods work is the gods have... so that's a ruin, so it's worth checking out the ruin. So the gods, basically, there are like 6 skills that are attached to each god that you can bind to number keys, and the skills are all really, 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 really good. And that's what a level is. So like you like there are like a bunch of tasks that the gods ask you to do, and those tasks get you points that you can use to acquire a skill. And if you acquire a skill, yeah, so now keep running. Yeah, because most things that attack you, it takes more than one turn for them to attack you. And so you can usually get away, especially early on. I would not box yourself in. That's dangerous, though.
Yeah, I just realized that, and I don't have anything to throw.
Yeah. I would just back up all the way, get your poise back, and hope that you don't die in this fight.
I mean, the worst thing that can happen if I die is I get rewound to the last checkpoint, right?
You would get rewound to right before you entered this dungeon, which is like great. Later on, it gets a little bit more risky about dying because if you haven't entered a dungeon in a while, if you've like been on the overworld a lot, you could actually die. But I really like this, like right now, like you took a lot of damage, but like you can keep exploring because you can get all your poise back. Like there's no, it's like a very elegant, sort of friendly.
Yeah, seems good. Well, also I do heal when I sleep, or do I have to take a potion to heal?
You heal when you sleep, but sleeping requires finding a bed or making a campsite, and making a campsite requires 10 kindling, which I don't think you have any of right now. And it's kind of annoying to gather kindling, but it's worth it because it's worth it to be able to sleep anywhere.
Picked up.
Okay, so you should ID that one thing you picked up that does not have charges. So first go look at what it is. Oh, you have 2, a faceted stone, and up above you have another one. So I always, wait, before you use this, I always try to find what is the most expensive thing I have with no charges. So if you scroll up, how much is the unknown device that's 3 up cost? 200, and then what's the one below the Rosetta? 2,000. Okay, so a faceted stone is the one that you want to ID, and now if you use the Rosetta, it'll let you pick
Where are you
which thing.
seeing the faceted stone?
The name of it in the upper right.
Oh, okay. So I picked the Rosetta, and I
Yes. And
got
so
it.
it's important that you know which thing it is.
Right.
The
Scrying
scrying
stone.
fuck. A scrying stone is not super useful.
So fashion stone has ability to absorb terror.
So I have never used this, but I think oh
Did I
right.
just
So what
use it? Did
yeah,
I
you just used
just Great.
and I guess it revealed the area. I don't know. I've never used one before. Yeah, I don't know what it did.
I don't know
That
what
was
it did.
probably not where to use it.
Probably not, because this was it. That was it.
But that's okay.
Okay, I guess leave. I just get the hell out of here, right?
John, how did I hear about this game? People were talking about it on Mastodon. Oof. Yeah, you should run. You're not going to win this fight. So, the gods, basically the way that the gods work is they give you, you get to choose a bunch of different stats. Getting a stat at all, and then it also gives you the ability to use a kind of weapon that you previously could not have used, which is almost always great. And you have to accomplish tasks for the gods to be able to like get their upgrades. But the further you go out, the more dangerous everything gets. So like here, you're starting to encounter the amber.
Should I now use the oil, or is that still not a thing I
I
need?
think you should. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes,
now I go to the lamp oil, and I say pour into lamp. Okay, got it.
yeah. So there's like a bunch of tasks for all of the gods, but one of the tasks is always visit this god's town. And so the nice thing about going down a road is if you do make it all the way to the end, you will get to their town and then you will be able to do one level in their devotion.
Should I try it? It's giving me the kindling tutorial. There's a kindling in an area.
No, I wouldn't do that right now.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Just keep going on the road. So kindling is it's just like berries, except it's kindling, and you'll be able to pick up kindling. And if you get 10 kindling, you'll be able to do a campsite, which will restore your health. So it's like a thing that you definitely want to do. It's just not worth it right now. Oh, that's a ruin. It's probably worth doing the ruin
Where's the ruin?
down there.
Oh, there.
Oh, this might be even better than a ruin, in fact.
It says something is here.
So this sometimes is like I guess nothing this time. Once it like resurrected as like an evil thing that I had to kill, and it gave me like a free devotion to a enemy, and I don't know why it did it. It might be season based. There's like moon seasons in this game. Like you're in the Mordant moon right now.
Oh, I see.
But I don't know.
Well, it
I
said
don't know.
something is here, but that something is definitely not revealing itself to me right now.
Yeah, it's that dead thing, but like there's a certain circumstance in which that dead thing comes back to life and you fight it and it gives you a devotional tier. And now that I'm saying it to you, I think what it means. I think it probably happens if it's the season of that particular thing. Oh, this is a person you can save. That's worth it if you can make it to them.
I'm gonna die.
Oh, this is gonna be tough.
Do I have? Wait, I do have potion of healing, right? So that heals.
I would not use it. Those are
Okay.
really valuable. I would just sort of try to. They're gonna be sort of like a different. Yeah, great.
Yeah, nice. Well, now I have the money. Now I actually have the money that I could use for
the boat. That's true, but you'd have to make it all the way back. Yeah, you could walk all the way back and do it if you wanted.
Yeah, let's do that.
Maybe that's a good idea. And then you can take a nap, and then that's a good point for me to.
Well, I'm also gonna jump off because I have a bunch of other stuff to do. Whoop. Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
So do
Don't
I need
fight
to
that.
refill the lamp here?
No, it's okay. You're just gonna. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're not gonna be in it long enough to go mad. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, now you're mad. So being mad doesn't have any effect unless you're in Oh, whoa! I've never seen that creature before. I'm glad you left. Being mad doesn't do anything unless you're in combat, in which case it randomly sometimes makes you move in different directions than you wanted to move, which is very, very, very bad.
Oh, geez.
So you're fine to just walk through this and go into town. All right. So I've never figured out the risk of sleeping in someone else's bed, so I just do that, which is what I would recommend you do. Just pick any house that has a bed and go in and sleep in the bed. That house to the right is probably unlocked. Yeah. Maybe this just hasn't been implemented, but... And it says no food, but you definitely have food. Like, your full food, you got your full health. I don't know what the...
Okay.
So yeah, so go back to that boat. And sail.
Nice sailing animation.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so then go up to that town. His barrel in. And there's a little bit to explore here on this island that you can do later. Okay, so now you got a devotion to the Lords of Dust. This is because, then we'll see how this works in a minute. So hit G.
Oh boy.
Okay, so you can see the Lords of Dust, the third one down the books. You can see what their asks are. If you stay all the way on the left. Yeah, so you can see, sorry, one more to the right, the list, the little piece of paper. So this is all the things you can do to get points with this god. And this is true of every god. So if you go up and down the list, you can see all of the different gods and all of their different asks. And always the first ask is to visit their town. You don't have to do that one first, but that's like the easiest one. And then each, if you take a step left, like move left one, you'll see each is affiliated with a stat. So like intellect, oh, I guess you can repair magical items. Well, that's cool. So the stat is which thing you're getting points in, so it affects what weapons you can use. Tinkering, or the boon, is if you devote yourself to them, you get that all the time. So here it like magically, like, I guess if you go with the Lords of Dust, you can repair your magic items and you can do their thing. But you're never allowed to use certain things. So with them, you would never be allowed to drink a potion. And that's sort of like, so each god has like a really major buff and a thing that you're not allowed to do. And then the other upside, if you go to the right and start looking at the abilities, so you have enough points to unlock one of these abilities. There's a lightning bolt with 30. If you devote yourself to the god, all of their abilities cost less. You always have 100 magic ability. So you're always working out of 100, and it recharges every time you perform a melee hit on an enemy.
Okay, interesting.
So they have like a variety of... All of these abilities are really, really strong. And so this kind of becomes the way that you sort of like choose to play through the game and build up your character, is by like thinking about like, what of these abilities do you want? What weapons will that let me use? Like, how can I work towards these things? Like, that's like a big like minor sort of quest. Oop, I'll be right back.
Interesting. So I have two. Minus 10, targeting type none. Convert a fraction of all status effects into health. Okay. Unleash bloodstones. Targeting type cursor. Bleeding. Okay. Enter LMB to devote yourself. It's way cooler than I thought it was. Obviously, like I didn't see what it was. I didn't see why it was amazing because I definitely skipped that very first story bit. I just walked out of the farm and was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Which, in terms of usability, I would say the game should sort of kind of, well, it doesn't have to, right? But like, it'd be good if it sort of, is this early access? Oh yeah, this is like a free game on Steam. So yeah, earliest access is what I would say it is. But they seem very happy about the reception. In fact, they seem slightly overwhelmed by the reception of this game, in terms of how many people are playing it and commenting on it. But yeah, so I don't know. Let's just undo it. Well, let's not do G. Or need directions. Cultist Ironmonger. No, I don't care. There's not really. So there's a notepad, and there's not really like a quest log, right? Did that. Former priest mounts my nose. Did that. Speaking of priest. Maybe the rune corner. Okay, did that. Talk to Nevin. It's a forest. Ask about Roshan Barrowland. Roshan knows some great secret. Nevin believes Roshan is nowhere in Wreath. Read an unmoving amber. So ask about Roshan Barrowland, so that's where I am. So I guess I ask.
Hey, sorry.
Oh, good.
So that's how all the systems work.
Yeah, no, this seems a sunken edifice when you're ready. Okay. Yeah, I mean this looks way more interesting than I initially thought. But also this seems like a good point to like take a break. So basically now when I go to options I can say save and quit and it will take me back to, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. The thing I like about it is it's like a very like dip-inable game.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way that feels really good. Like you can like pick a thing that you kind of want to accomplish and then you like sit down and you're like, I'll just do a dungeon. Or like, I'm just going to see if I can, how far on this road I can get or whatever. And it's very like,
but
accepting.
As you play along, like this story keeps unfolding, I guess. Like you still like talk to this person here. They'll have something to say about the serpent's eye and blah, blah, blah. That stuff keeps happening, or does that just fizzle out at some point? Because right now I'm on a path, right?
Yes, but there is like much more system than story.
Okay. That's fine.
It's like very system-y.
Right. But there's like a breadcrumb. There's like a path of breadcrumbs, right? Like it's not at some point you're just like, go do whatever you want. The story is now over. It's like, wait, what? Or is there?
Correct.
Yeah. You're still uncovering a mystery, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I don't know. Did you ever play Ultima 7?
No, I've never played any of the Ultimas.
Ultima 7 had like started off with a murder, right? It was like someone got killed in a barn, and you're like, what's going on? And then and the path leads to a much bigger story, basically, or to a much bigger revelation. And then that's the whole thing that you're doing with your party, and it's super fun. Like it's a little bit like, I don't know, I always find these entering. That's why I got hung up on this, right? I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning, and I was just saying while you were gone for that minute, I was like, it'd be good if the game would have like somehow guided me towards that initial area, right? It just let me leave it, and then I never came back because I'm like, well, I don't have to go back there, and I missed the whole thing, right? Like I missed everything that was the tension. Because in Baldur's Gate 3, it's like a crash on a beach the opening cutscene of Baldur's Gate 3 is insane.
Right.
Right? And you're like, oh God, of course I want to see what's happening here. Right? And then you get separated from your party and you find the party, and it's like very, very standard story stuff, but it really works. So now I'm hooked. So thanks a lot for like pointing me in the right direction. I feel like if the game had done something, and this is not a big critique, right? But if it had done something and be like, put that directly on my path, I can barely miss it. I literally didn't do it. I didn't go into that building because I didn't see it. It wasn't
Yeah,
even
I'm
that I saw it and
surprised
annoyed. It wasn't that I
it let
saw it
you
and
out
annoyed.
of the main area.
Yeah, I didn't. It's not like I didn't like I saw it and thought, ah, screw this. I just didn't see the building. I just walked out of the place and I was in the overworld.
Right.
Right, and then the overworld was enticing enough to stay there, but I also missed any narrative or story conceit. Like, I missed the whole dad thing. I was like, oh, I guess I don't know why I exist, right? No, this is cool. This is really cool. Everyone should check it out. It's free on Steam, in its current state. Yeah, Shadow DX says a free game by the co-creator of Xbox's Fable series, which that says a lot because I'm not a big fan of the Fable series, but I liked the first one enough. The problem that the Fable series had, without going into too much detail, is that it had no sense of place at all. Like there was you went into an area and then you walked on the map and it's like you're gonna teleport here now, and there was no connection to why I was in a different place, which this obviously does not suffer from. Like you always know where you are, and there's a very strong sense of place.
The thing I like about this game is it's very clear that the person making this game has been making games for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And yet it is using a ton of new ideas and very modern design, and it's like super, super, super modern. And I feel like there just really are not a lot of examples of that happening.
Right.
Usually the people who have been in the games industry for that long are either doing the same thing they were always doing, or like working on a franchise where they're on like the 20th game and they're not doing experimental stuff, or they're just like they're making new things but they're not actually like fluent with modern game design. This person like really understands what modern game design looks like,
Right.
and is super fluent and is like adapting all of these old things into it in a like very clever way.
Yeah. Oh, and the visual design is immaculate. So
Yeah.
so it's very beautiful, very, and also like even this title screen is like going through color shifts, through palette shift, and so it looks. I'm just watching this, like how it's like gradually shifting to different color palettes.
It's a real programmer art victory, I think.
Yeah. No, this is cool.
Like all the sounds in this game are SFX or sounds. Like it's just there's so much I love about this.
It's version 0.0686.
No.
That is very funny. Yeah, cool. Thanks a lot, Zach. That was cool.
Yep.
Thanks a lot for guiding me through that.
No
Feel
problem.
free to join on future streams when I play games. It's always more fun to do it with a person. I know you're too busy. Maybe, and I was gonna say maybe in the future we'll be less busy. I don't think that's true. Given what's coming up next in your life, unlikely.
Yeah.
And I can attest to the fact that is because I've done that, and I can confirm it gets harder. So good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. You want to sign off?
Oh, yeah. I'll see you.
Okay.